luckily I didn't destroy my lip loading this thing onto the trailer. I've killed 2 of these Aeroflow Dynamics lips. I guess that's why I'll just keep buying cheap ones, because they're just gonna get destroyed. But yeah, all set up, ready to rock. So tomorrow we're going to test out the next step in development of the car. My whole ethos on this thing is that, you know, not to throw a bunch of modifications at the car, but to do it incrementally and then just learn it as we go. So that's why, like, I did just camber plates, tires, brake pads, stock calipers, and just kind of sent it for a while to learn the car. And then, you know, I did sway bars. So just like in these little tiny steps, just continuously developing the car to see what works, what doesn't, because you can just throw a bunch of stuff at the car thinking you need to do it, but I mean, really, you could pretty easily ruin the car or just spend a bunch of money on stuff that you just really don't need. So last time I tracked the car, I had front brake pads that weren't even the right size for the kind of caliper I have. AP Racing has a bunch of different pad shapes, so when you're buying pads, make sure you get the correct shape. They can be very similar, but not correct, and I lost a ton of confidence in the car. So we got new DS 1.1 Ferodo pads in the front. I got new pads for the rear, SPL rear lower control arms, SPL rear toe arms, and I got Cusco front power brace and steering rack braces. So just kind of strengthening and stiffening everything up from the added grip. I got the Epsilon rear mount wing to see if downforce makes any difference at high speed. And yeah, just give it our best and see how she do. So I also have a new clutch set up in the car. So the snout on the transmission had worn so bad that the throwout bearing was catching on it. And I could still track the car, drive the car okay. But if you went from like a complete stop and you let the clutch in and out, you could feel with your foot, it was like stepping on a rock. And then also you had to be moving to be able to shift it into first gear. Like if you were at a standstill, you could not shift it into first gear. And I just knew that over time it was gonna do more damage to the transmission. So I went with Toda clutch and a little bit heavier of a flywheel from what I had before, because that flywheel was too light, where it was actually causing misfire faults on startup sometimes. So the way that the engine detects misfire is a difference between the cam sensor and crank sensor pickup. So it sees like a variance in speed from what it's programmed to be, and then it kind of can tell that it's a misfire from there, and that's how it throws the fault. So anything that drastically changes the speed of how your crank is spinning in comparison to your cam can cause misfires. So some engines are pretty picky with that stuff, some of them not so much, but apparently the FA24 is one that is a little bit picky on what kind of flywheel you put in the car. To the track safe and sound. They're allowing overnight camping, so I'm just gonna sleep in the trailer tonight. I bought an air mattress and stuff. Should be fun. Going to get some food right now, and then after that we'll look over the car, swap over the wheels and tires, and get ready for the morning. did a couple scooter laps around the track to help learn it, and it was awesome. This place is really eerie at night. It's like really windy and there's no one here, and it's kind of weird to get used to. But also, shout out to the homie Jeff for lending me his trailer. This thing is fucking awesome. Absolute game changer. If you can't afford one, try to rent one or something. I don't know, it's the best. Is that a Roadmaster?
Yep.
Oh, it's Cadillac, yeah. So I tried to take a final thoughts video, but my dumbass didn't have the audio working when I recorded it the day of the track day. So this is what I'm doing now. I don't want you guys to think that just slapping on a set of coilovers, you're going to all of a sudden hit some lap record or whatever. It wasn't quite like that. I don't think that going 2 seconds faster than my personal best was just the modifications I did alone. It's more that it gave me the confidence to push the car further. That combined with having a fixed bucket seat where I'm not just being like thrown around the seat on track. So just having the confidence, being able to push the car a little bit further, and then just seat time. Just more practice and seat time is really key here. But yeah, this was a learning curve as far as like collecting the data. I was using Race Chrono Pro, and I screwed everything up per usual, but I learned what I did wrong so I can kind of go next time and get a lot more solid data. But I was primarily concerned on logging my oil pressure because I have the Veris oil pan. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't seeing a huge pressure drop on track, and that data was legit. But the thing is, like this, the suspension, you know, you can go way more expensive and get some like really fancy two-ways, but like I'm not right now currently racing like winning trophies with the car or anything. So I wanted to get something that was like good quality, kind of a mid-level coilover, something that I could still drive in the street and I wouldn't be bouncing around like crazy, and seems to be good quality. So in that sense, I really can't thank Annex suspension enough. It worked incredibly well. It took me a little while to get set up, but the company was super helpful with getting them set up correctly. And honestly, it felt so dialed in. Like I'll play with things here and there for different tracks, but for just being able to go out there the first time, like I checked my tire pressure once. I didn't have to change my ride height. Like all that stuff was awesome. So I can't thank them enough. And the Epsilon Aero rear mount wing. Once again, I did the coilovers and the Aero at the same time, so I can't really say for sure if one or the other was what led to the high speed stability, but the car just felt so much better. Like going to the corner at West Bend, the corner on the uphill after the No Name Straight, and then turn 1 and a Big Bend are all pretty high speed corners. So definitely just felt way better, way more planted in the ass end of the car going around those corners. So that was awesome. So yeah, I'm going to do a couple more track days, I think, at Limerock this year. I want to go to Thompson and get some practice before Staggered in August. And yeah, just keep tweaking, keep developing, keep going faster, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.